Hey dancers, it's time for holistic journaling on this sunny Monday. This is number 36 if you're keeping track. So for this one, I want to start with a trigger warning that today our prompt involves food and body image. So if those are things that you're struggling with, I just want you to be aware of the content before we launch into it. And if this feels like one that maybe you're not in an emotional place to think about or talk about, that this one might not be a good fit. So you can substitute in a different question for today. You could just take a break for the day. But if you're ready and in a place that you can think and talk about food, then this is a good one for you. So our prompt for the day is food and body image, and I'm just going to give it the open-ended question, how are you doing? I've avoided including some food and body image ones before now because I wasn't sure that it was a subject that I could broach. But I thought today that we could do it in a really mindful way, and we could provide some stability to the question and some definites, because I feel like a lot of times you don't get a lot of definites. So I think everybody knows that dancers have this image in the media and in the general public of being really thin and really muscular, and that eating disorders are just totally common and encouraged in all of this. And I think to a certain extent that has been true. But I think we know now with some really great role models like Misty Copeland, who is much more muscular and with a better understanding of disordered eating and eating disorders, that's not the norm any longer, and that norm is slowly changing, and that healthy dancers are better than super thin dancers, which isn't to say that there's not still pressures. We work in studios that usually have multiple walls of mirrors. There's the only instrument you have is your body, and that there's pressures to look a certain way. Absolutely, that's always true. So I just want you all, if you're ready, and if you're in a place that you can do this, to think about your relationship with food and think about your relationship with your body image. Like, if you reflect on a day, how often are you thankful to your body and complimentary to your body and proud of your body? And how often are you critical of your body and upset with your body and disappointed in your body? Either answer is fine and normal, but one of them is probably preferable. And I think, at least in my own experience with disordered eating and with body image, it felt like the right thing to be super critical of my body, because it felt like then I would work harder and better if I was disappointed. And as I've gotten older and as I've stepped away from some of those beliefs, I think maybe that's not true. That maybe you can work better if you're more forgiving of your body and more thankful for your body. Which isn't to say you're going to have great days all the time. That's not true. But I do want you guys to know there are a lot of resources if you reflect on it and you're like, I would like to be different. I'm ready to change my beliefs in my body. I'm ready to change my approach to my body image. There's a ton of resources. And I don't want to spend this whole video listing off a million websites and a million ways to reach out for help, but I would be more than happy to share those. We will share those however you want to. It can be completely confidential. I can just post it, and then you don't even have to share it with KDA or with me. And then also, I think it's important to remember when talking about this that you shouldn't have food and thinking about food and thinking about what you're going to eat and what you ate and what your day looks like with food. You don't want that to take up a lot of your thinking space. So it is okay to plan your meals ahead. It is okay to think of good, healthy foods that you like. It is okay to be really excited. You're going to have a favorite food later. But I think a good rule of thumb is don't let food take over a huge amount of your mental energy, right? So if you need anything, if you need help, you can do a Google search. You can anonymously reach out. We'll share some of those resources with you guys. We'll link to them here. As always, you can talk to us about it. If you want a sounding board, you can talk to somebody else if you have a trusted dance friend. You can write it down, and or you can just meditate on it. But food and body image, where are you How's your check-in? And then is there something you want to change? All right, we'll see you tomorrow.